Today I'm going to show you a really simple technique in watercolour, probably the most used technique of all, and I'm going to do it now. So welcome to SLUGA channel. On this channel we do all things watercolour. I want to use my 30 years experience to help you live, love and do watercolour. Consider subscribing, hit that little subscribe button below, remember to hit the bell. Today we're just going to zip over to Tuscany. Well, not really, I might take you later on in the year, but I'm going to do a painting from Tuscany. So we'll do a bit of speed painting of this place in Tuscany. It's a very simple composition, but I'm just going to lead you through it and I'll do some narration over the top. You can use this method pretty much on most paintings. So when I say simple method, I mean simple in the sense of it's very methodical. You start off with an overall wash, a wet into wet wash, and then apply subsequent layers, usually another 1 or 2 layers, as you'll see in this demonstration. So let's get into it. So the first thing to do is whack that paint down nice and wet. Use heaps of water. You're just putting the local colour down. You're not colouring anything in. You're just introducing local colour. Let it run and bleed, don't control it. This is what watercolour does best. When it's dry, then we start on the vines. Flick the paint on, spatter it on, you know, some light colours. That you're painting, you're suggesting the vines, the leaves on the vines. Then you come across to the tree and you paint the tree, not too solid, and you connect the tree to the vines. You're kind of treating it as one big connected shape. While it's still wet, come back and put some darks in the bottom part of the vines. Drag the darks down to suggest the trunks and the branches. Then you connect the trunks to the earth. Suggest a few of the poles there. And then you go on to the building. Now the building, you kind of are colouring in here, but you're colouring in expressively. So you're letting colours run and bleed, leaving a couple of little light sections. We'll use those later. When you paint the dark arches, make sure that paint's really thick. You don't want it to run too far. Just bleeding a little bit. If it bleeds too far, thicken the paint up. The bottom of the building kind of helps cut out the top of the vines, as does the wall, this wall that sits in front of the buildings. And you can see it comes forward and it helps push the vines out a little bit more. Use my knife to scrape out a few lights, suggest a few more poles, maybe a bit of railing, get the rigger brush out, put the railing in. Then I darken this wall. I want it to come forward from the buildings behind, so I make it a little bit darker. And I suggest the turn of the building by darkening some of the walls. A hint of terracotta, whacking a bit of cad red in that little gap that I left earlier. Then we come to the figure, the painter, the you, the me. They're kind of hidden over there in the corner. They're meant to be. You kind of discover them after a while. Very simplistic shape. Come back, put a few more darks in the trees. You can see that beautiful granulation of the ultramarine blue there in that tree. And restating some darks on the bottom of that vine. Look how it punches it out. Look how it pushes it out. Very, very important. Even though there's not a lot of darks in this picture, they're actually quite important. Suggest the mountains in the background, not too dark. Get the white gouache out, whack a couple of highlights on the figure and restate the ground and the path they're standing on. A little bit of fence there as well. Because the sky's fairly boring, we're just going to whack in a few more clouds, bit of a diagonal, makes it a bit of a zigzag composition. And then the last thing to do is to sign it, and we're done. So have a go. Make sure you let the water do its thing, okay? And make sure you put some nice strong darks in there as well. Good luck. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it, share it to your friends. Remember to hit the icon up here on the right to subscribe. Say hi in the comments below. Let me know what you would like to see me paint, and I'll see you next week.